Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Hey, hey, hey.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Air horns for people that didn't hear it in the back. Welcome back to another episode of Everything Under the Sky. I'm your host, Lamar, with the good folks. Got my boy Uriah here, Young Larry.
What's up, everyone? Dang, the Young Larry.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
I just realized we both had on Chucks. Wait. Okay. How you
Taylor
doing?
Gang.
Yeah. How you doing?
Oh, me? I'm cool, bro. Oh, yeah. No, I'm good. I thought he was moving on to you.
Nah, man, we never go to you. You got the olive green shirt, man. Let's come to you first.
Olive green? Nah, I'm good, man. This is something random. I was thinking earlier, but I was saving it. Hey, this is a weird, very random question. But, like, are we ever going to just, like, stop saying stuff like, is the 2010s? Are we just going to call it, like, the 10s, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, like they do in the 90s? Because, you know, in the 90s, we just be like, oh, that's the 90s, the 80s.
I was going to say, what do we say now, 2010s?
Exactly. What do we say? That's random. I was thinking this was an inebriated moment.
Nah, I definitely feel like we're going to be like...
The 10s. Nah, the 2010s just hit so much harder.
Nah, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I feel like we just still address it by the year. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
That voice you hear, gentlemen, on the
10s.
left, Boy Wax is here also joining us.
What would be the 10s, though?
Waxy Bone with the straight
Is
back.
2001 part of the 10s?
What?
It doesn't sound right. But is
Exactly. The 2000s.
How you doing, man? How you doing, Wax?
2000. Obviously, I'm on another planet right now.
Nah, I brought you there. My bad.
What episode? What episode is this? Episode
74.
74. Everything
74.
Under the Sky. Thanks for joining us. It's been great. Another Friday in the trap.
Poking out.
That's what I'm saying. You came with the straight backs, man. You feeling gangster?
Do-rag activity.
Or are you feeling like one of the Bone Thugs in Harmony? Which one you giving us today?
Debut do-rag activity? That's Baby Keem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Damn, that's crazy. But what'd you say? My bad.
I don't even remember. Where should we?
I'm good, man. Let's get into it.
Where should we start this week? Episode 74.
74. On confused. Oh, my bad. We're getting too ahead of ourselves.
I don't think we talked about this last week. Biden overhauls U.S. policy on marijuana pardons. Pardons prior federal offenses for all people who have went to jail for marijuana federally. I feel like this is a big step. It's funny because people was always like, Joe not really doing nothing. Joe just in the office. But I feel like these last couple months, he kind of been turning up. He kind of been putting his foot down and showing us Big Daddy Joe is here to stay.
Damn, so I thought the federal was by themselves. I didn't know the president could. I guess the president
And do whatever, bro. Once Donald Trump was in the presidency, I was like, okay, because when you go through like what not necessarily even just history, but like government, they tell you like the president doesn't have all the power, and that it's really like broken down into 3 systems, and it's like a checks and balances. But then when Trump came, he kind of like flexed that power a little bit and signed some executive orders and kind of just put a whole new stamp on what it means to have power, I feel like.
damn, Trump about to come back too.
That's what they're saying. But Joe trying to make his mark too with this, and then with the student loans.
Yeah, he trying to come true on his commitments, because if he don't, that's literally going to kill his second campaign. Like, bro, we're not about to vote for you again just to see if you might do what you said you're going to do again. So you better do it now. So, yeah. I like it, though, because he said some good shit on his campaign. So if he gets them student loans gone, which it sounds like it's going to happen, that's dope, because, yeah, that's out of there.
That was one of his major selling points.
And then the marijuana possession charges, that's what it should say. Because if you're selling that,
Yeah, it's like
you
the
s-
petty
you're
crimes.
still in trouble.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
it's
if
the
you just had it in
federal
your pocket,
offenses. So
you just
he-
getting
I
high a
seen
little
something
bit.
that said he is encouraging the states to like follow suit too. So I don't really.
Well,
know
that's
what
what
that
I was
means.
just gonna say. Like, how does that really affect everyone's day to day though? Like, are people? Do we know how many people are actually getting like released? Like, I'd be curious because how does that affect? Because I do know states have a lot of control of stuff too. But I agree though. It is a step in the right direction to have at least like the federal like kind of set a trend of
Decriminalization.
yeah, exactly. And it's, I mean, yeah, I think it's. I hope people are getting released. I hope there's a good amount of people.
It says Biden says thousands of people with prior federal convictions could be. Okay, that wasn't what I was looking at. Nearly 40 U.S. states have legalized marijuana use in some form, but it still remains completely illegal in some states and at the federal level. And a lot of times, when you work for like government jobs and these big corporations, they follow the federal policy. So by Joe Biden kind of decriminalizing it on the federal scale, maybe it allows that policy to loosen up and they'll stop with those silly drug tests and things like that. Because even though you're in Colorado, which is a legal state, a lot of times like for medicine and government and stuff, they have to follow those legal and federal compliances. So step in the right direction for sure. But it's crazy because I feel like they do just enough. Like they don't do, he's like, I'm not going to do all of them, but I'm just do this much. I'm not going to forgive all of your student loans, but I'm going to just forgive enough to like keep you coming back.
I wonder if it's because I feel like politics have always been that way. Because I always feel like if you do too much, they'll feel like, oh, this person's so radical, and they, you know what I mean? Like they're still trying to play the game at the same time. That's why I hate politics. But on another note, going back to the student loans, have any of you guys tried it?
I haven't.
See, I looked into it, and every time I click on it, hey, if someone's watching this and you know, reach out,
Help
tell
me.
Exactly, help me. I'm trying to get my student loans taken care of now.
From my understanding, if you've been paying like monthly on it and you've been up to date and you have an account set up already through wherever you pay it through, which is probably, I don't know. Anyways, if you make payments on your student loans, from my understanding, it should just happen automatically for you guys.
Well, so yeah, when I'm saying, so yeah, all that stuff, you have to be like in a federally backed company that holds your loans. So like if you may have refinanced to like your credit union or something, it
Right.
may not.
So if you
Yeah.
refinanced, your credit union probably bought your loans from that place. So now it's just you and your credit union.
Exactly.
So it's up to them.
No, yeah, it has to be federally. But I'm talking about like, has anyone actually applied for it? Because you got to fill out an application. So, and I keep
So
looking.
They might give you money to give to your credit union to pay it off or something like
Nah,
that.
that was
vice
one of the
versa.
things. I don't know. I keep seeing information, and what it says is like it has to be in one of those federally backed, like a Sally Mae, Navient used to be one, or
I did see a list,
Advantage, or yeah.
Interesting.
but I feel like it's still so fresh. People are still trying to figure
But
it
it
out.
could
for sure.
change too.
Right, see, like, I
It
don't
could
know.
change. But
Yeah.
from what I've read, that's what I've seen. But they said it's supposed to come out in early October. I feel like
It's early October.
exactly. And I keep trying to go to like, cause you have to go the FAFSA website, and you go and look, and it only gives information. I couldn't find the actual application.
I feel like they trying to figure it out still too.
True.
It's put on them fast.
Yeah,
For sure.
true. But
And
they
they did say like even after the deadline, if you apply, because I feel like they already are anticipating this problem.
Facts.
So like, there's no like real deadline to apply. Like as long as you apply, it'll eventually happen.
they'll be flexible.
Nah, well, there
Yeah.
is a deadline though. It does
That's
say
what I'm
that,
saying.
yeah.
But they're like not.
It
They're
doesn't
gonna push it back.
It
They're
doesn't
like,
have to get
don't worry.
processed by that certain
Like
time.
there's a deadline, I think, for you to start repaying on your loans. But if you put in the application after that deadline, I don't think there's a deadline for the application.
No, I don't. No, there is a deadline for the application. It's like 2 years out or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But also at the same time, I would recommend doing it sooner than later because yeah, it's gonna end in January, but you're gonna start paying interest in January, and so the longer you have that higher payment, it's gonna be more interest.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're paying, you better do the application. But if you haven't been paying and you don't plan on paying and you're just a procrastinator, then
Nah.
I would say do it sooner than later. But I feel like most people should get on it, right?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
if you like money,
Nah, even if you procrastinate, just
but if you rich already, then they
take-
probably gonna procrastinate. I don't know how rich people work, bro.
And also, when you get on fast food, you could check if you got the Pell Grant, so you know if you get that
Got
extra
that
10,000.
extra.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know I got that thing.
Oh yeah, no, I
I
did.
think I did too.
I checked. I was like,
I
yep.
know I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
know.
checked. I was like, yep, I got it. I thought I did, but I had to double check.
I needed that. Let's move on. Now, this kind of shocked me. It says Chick-fil-A on record has the slowest drive-through in 2022 fast food report says. It says Taco Bell, Dunkin' Donuts, and KFC are the fastest. Oh, well, that's because nobody goes there.
Right?
Wow,
I
real.
didn't want to state the obvious, but
But I don't know. Chick-fil-A is always known for its good service. What do you guys feel about this?
I feel like
Shocking development in the
I think it's
black community.
the same reasoning for the three lowest. I mean, the three fastest. A lot of people go to Chick-fil-A. So, of course,
Exactly.
it's going to be a long line. So, that's not too surprising. Like, they even do their best. They got the little workers out there. So sometimes 3 of them just come into your car. They take your order.
It be all
It
hot.
But it might seem fast, but you just got your order taken. You
Sometimes
still
it be
got to
cold.
wait in line, bro.
Yeah, it's just because
Like,
they're nice.
I could have waited to talk to somebody at the speaker. You didn't have to talk to me right away. It's okay.
It's just because they're nice, so it makes it more like pleasant. So it feels like it's fast, but
Yeah.
and they got the little app. I be scanning my points. I'm like, this is nice. They got the little heaters under.
nah, low key. When I was down in like Denver area, I would not go on the line. I would just order on the app and walk in and get it myself.
See, like
Mm-hmm.
that boy
But
is
the-
spoiled.
Nah, but that's crazy to me because I always thought they had a fast line. When I'm waiting there, it doesn't seem that long.
Yeah, and you guys brought up like In and Out. I'm like, wait, so what? I mean, what considered fast food? But then also like who's all on the list? Who was tested? Because it
Exactly.
seems a little off.
Because In-N-Out has
Sure.
the longest lines.
My only argument would be that there's probably more Chick-fil-A's than In-N-Outs, so they have more data. So there might be some long Chick-fil-A line somewhere where there is no In-N-Outs present. Like the Chick-fil-A by my house, now they have a In-N-Out right next to it. But before that, Chick-fil-A line used to be crazy. Now that In-N-Out line is crazy. So it's like evening out now.
But
So-
even that Chick-fil-A line is still crazy, even with the In-N-Out.
Exactly. Now
Yeah.
both of them are crazy. It's like
It's just
bro,
more population.
why is there so many people right here? Like, where did y'all even come from?
Somebody said, that's crazy. Y'all, I be waiting at Popeye speaker for like 30 minutes. And then somebody said, clearly someone who made this survey never been to Cane's. And bro, I went to Cane's be taken for
Cane's has a
Ever.
long line too.
But they got the double line though. Oh, I guess some
does
Chick-fil-A's
Chick,
do.
too. Cane's,
Some of
most
just
places
because the
have
young fools be at Cane's, they don't be doing no work. I'd be like, all right, now.
But it's they gotta cook 2 items.
Cane's.
Yeah.
So it should be fast.
Exactly.
And scoop that little sauce. Scoop me that sauce.
Nah,
Give
that
me
should
out
be
I haven't
pre-done.
been there in a
You don't need
while.
to scoop any sauce. Have it pre-made.
Just have them in the.
Yeah,
They are
come on.
pre-made, bro. They just gotta fry them chicken things.
All you gotta do is grab. You need to have someone in the back just
Bro, I was
saucing.
thinking they probably go through so much chicken. Like,
Oh,
That's-
so much.
it's kind of
Don't get me
crazy.
started.
It's kind of wild when you think about
Just one.
it.
So
One-
we're just thinking about one.
Bro, you
Think
can't
about-
even see this food right now. Look.
once a day.
Where is he?
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Hey, you put it up, bro.
That's the people don't know that. Next up in news, this kind of blew up over our Twitter and social media feeds. We kind of knew about it before, but the video kind of surfaced. Not kind of surfaced. The video did surface, and I think this made it a little worse. But Draymond Green and him putting them paws on Jordan Poole, that whole situation. Y'all have a chance to see that video? I mean, it was kind of hard to miss.
I'm sure everyone's seen it.
Should we go ahead and watch it? All right. Back from commercial break. and from viewing the dangerous and violent Draymond Green footage from TMZ. Why does TMZ have everything?
The
Who is
cops,
TMZ?
bro,
Is
the feds.
Bro, they have a team.
What does TMZ stand for?
Team. Same.
Teams.
Teams.
We have a lot of teams.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
That's a good question.
They have everything. What are our thoughts on not only this Draymond Green punch out, but the video leaking as well?
I'm not surprised TMZ got the video. They get all the videos. And I feel like they got a team of ambitious people that just want to outshine each other. So they just all scrambling,
They don't
trying
sleep.
to get these videos. And they got the green light to pay whatever amount of money. They got a range, but
They have to have some type
They got
of
the green
amount
light.
of money, though, because it wasn't cheap to get the video. I could tell you that.
nah, exactly. All these videos have been paid for
Exactly.
by TMZ. Like the Quavo elevator video, that shit, they paid that for that one. They probably scrambled that whole building looking for people like, hey, you got videos in the elevators? Somebody was like, yeah, I got a private video in there, actually. It's like, anyways. But that's how I feel about the video. And the punch, that shit was crazy. But it looked like he had instant regret.
Draymond?
Yeah, after the punch. You say he grabbed him just in case he was trying to like squabble with him. I feel like he just punched him. Was like, oh shoot, my bad.
That looked
man.
like
He tried
the
to pick
1-2,
him up.
like the punch grapple vibe. He was giving
he was
him
ready.
the rock bottom. Boom, boom. I didn't hit that a couple times. Just in case the punch don't land, you can always grab him up.
Bro, he folded so instantly though.
It seemed like he been wanting to punch him for a while, though.
no, yeah.
Like, that wasn't no, like, spur of the moment punch. It's like, all right, we been going at it a couple of days in practice, and you getting on my nerves now.
I don't know. I feel like it's unfortunate it got leaked. I feel like it should have been kept in house. It's unfortunate someone clearly that works for the Warriors organization.
Because they said it was a closed practice at the time, and it was closed to media. So,
Oh wow.
to your point, it was an internal source.
Yeah.
Someone inside of the Warriors organization.
So yeah. But in regards to the punch, I also feel like, yeah, you got to be ready. I think if you're gonna talk shit and you're gonna shove someone, I don't know, man. You gotta be ready.
Because that's the other part of it. People are calling it a sucker punch on Draymond's part.
I agree.
I mean, and clearly Draymond's about it. He showed everyone. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't feel too bad. I think it happens more often than what people think. Because I think that people are competitive. I don't think it. I think the.
But isn't a sucker punch when you like blindside someone or like you punch them when they're not looking?
Yeah, that's what
Or
I
they're
thought.
not expecting to get punched.
But I also think like
Like,
it's
you could be
easier.
looking straight at somebody and sucker punch them, bro. Like,
Even after they push you and you guys square up? Well, if the square up initiates the fight and then you push me after the square up, where I'm from, the push initiates the fight.
Exactly.
I don't feel like it was a sucker punch. But, I mean,
no, yeah. I mean, on the streets, it's not a sucker punch, but
he
their
probably
teammates, aka brothers, aka,
So
I
that's
can
a
see that.
I'm not expecting to get punched like that from
So-
my brother or
But
teammate.
maybe don't talk to me a certain way though, because
Nah,
even think about someone
man
I
to
love.
man on the streets for sure.
Nah. Even there's been friends of mine that I've fought just because we've disagreed on stuff. So I mean, like,
Did you sucker punch him though?
I mean, is that a sucker punch? If he came up to me, shoved me, and
I've shoved my friend and he shoved me back. He didn't just
I shoved, he punched,
sleep
and we
me
started
ass.
fighting. But I expected it. I wasn't like I shoved him.
But there's different ways. I don't know. There's different ways. Like Draymond went for the knockout punch instantly, bro. Like he knew what kind of punch he wanted to throw. There's different types of punches you could
I
throw.
think you
It's just
gotta-
different type of fights. If you expect
No,
to win the fight, then you probably want to punch before the other person punches you.
Exactly.
But
he,
it also depends. You know,
he been waiting to just knock him out. They shut him
And
up.
if you talking greasy enough to where we're getting to this point and
If
fighting
you're
point,
crossing the line with your words, that's you could get punched for sure.
I feel split because I feel like for one, like you said, for Draymond to be the leader of the team, a veteran, and someone who like they look up to, a real big piece in the organization, like he has to hold his guard and keep his temper. But that being said, with Draymond being like an 11-year vet and a leader of the team and someone who's been here within not even just the NBA. Like Draymond is on TNT. Like he's all over the industry. So for him to actually get to that point, I feel like it had to have some type of straightening to be sat down because Draymond's not. He talks a lot of shit. We all know who Draymond is, but Draymond's not just punching people.
Well, I don't think it happened that day. I think it's probably built up over time. It could have been stemming from way before, even in their playoff run. We just don't know fully what their relationship was like too. Like,
And the rumor is Jordan Poole he's kind of feeling himself, hot off the championship, just fresh off the contract extension. You know, light skin, 24. Like he's been feeling himself. 18 points a game. He coming off that high horse.
And Draymond Green kind of got a history of people coming in and shaking up the house that he's comfortable in already.
I think I seen something unrelated, but Clay, Steph, like the whole team had a 3-point contest, and Clay won. And Clay was just talking about like, yeah, I feel like I'm getting underrated. He said, if you got NBA 2K, like not giving me my proper credit. And he's like, no, I'm just playing. But it did feel good to shut up Jordan though. And I'm like, So Jordan must be talking a lot this offseason.
I just got a mouth on him.
He's kind of feeling himself. So whereas you don't want to be punching niggas all in your team and organization, like
Right.
Jordan probably been beside himself and needed a little bit of straightening. Nobody's beside some straightening now.
exactly. If you're acting a certain way, you gotta expect it.
But the biggest thing for me is the team is more upset that the video got leaked than Draymond doing the punching.
And am I wrong? Is Draymond not suspended?
The team isn't suspending him.
Right.
The NBA isn't going to do anything. The team said they fined him, and Draymond did a press conference, and he kind of like suspended himself and took some time away from the team.
Mm-hmm.
But it just came out today that he'll be back like tomorrow, and he plans on playing in like the last preseason game because the Lakers play Golden State on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Well, and it's also because of the ring ceremony, they're saying. So, like, yeah, they don't want him to miss that on opening night. So they don't want to.
You probably shouldn't punch niggas in.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I would agree, though, that with the Warriors, be more upset that because it should stay in-house. That's like a family thing.
True.
You know what I mean?
And that made me realize that it happens probably more times than we hear about. Like whether like reports just don't come out or like they really just keep it in-house. I'm sure it does happen a lot. A lot of egos and grown men. And Steve Kerr was a victim of Michael Jordan getting punched. The difference is we never seen the video. I think the video changes everything. But when you just kind of hear a dispute, you're like, oh, it happens. They scuffled. But when we see the video of Draymond, like actually kind of like, it wasn't a fight. Draymond knocked him out. He just punched him, and that was kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what was telling for me is everybody else's reaction around, like everybody else, the teammates, the coaches, when they were arguing and went up to each other, it's crickets. People aren't running to the aid, and people aren't like breaking it up before. Like, am I off here?
Let me watch it. I never watched anybody else.
No, people are. Even after the punch, people are just still looking. Like the coaches.
Yeah, they weren't trying to
No,
stop
like
him.
nobody's.
Yeah,
It's a few people,
Paul must
but-
have said something crazy like, "Oh, we gotta
Usually,
let this happen."
usually when people start like even getting that close, be like, hey, calm down. People are literally
Or-
just watching it the whole time.
Nobody was expecting Draymond to punch him, bro.
Like it must just happen. Has to happen often.
Bro, because look at the dude that he was there the whole time. Look, the dude walking up. Look, watch him the whole time.
Bro, and they're coaches,
Look, he's
and they're
looking.
just like, oh,
maybe
okay.
he's just too old to do anything. He put his hands on his
Bro,
head.
there's
like,
literally no like jolt in any of it. They're just like, oh, another spat.
right. All the players, they're
Yeah.
just sitting there. Look, he got his hand on his hip.
It looked like it
never
was normal.
The hand never moved.
Nobody seemed like he got up. Like, oh, okay. Kuminga.
But I will say
It's like a
this.
few people ran to the aid, but like,
It is up to Draymond, and I'm glad he took accountability to rekindle that relationship between them. It is. I mean, for sure. If you're gonna throw the punch and knock someone, one of your teammates out, you got to be the one to, if you're a real leader, to like rekindle that.
True, and I'm sure he feels so bad about it. Like, just like all jokes aside, I'm sure he's like regrets throwing
sure.
that punch.
For sure.
As much street cred or whatever. I heard people saying the '90s are back. You know, the old folks love stuff like that. Let them fight. That's what real men do. What's up? Before we go into some media stuff, is this news? Jid and Smino is going on tour. We finally got a Smino release date, but JID and Smino coming to a tour near or a city near you. They'll be in Denver. When's that? My eyes are
February 10th.
February 10th. Ooh, that's right around by Valentine's.
When's Valentine?
14th. Yeah, JID and Smino will be in Denver February 10th. Really big news. Huge tour. Definitely can't wait for that. I think Smino said he's coming out October 29th, 30th is his release date, something like that. So it's good to hear he finally got a release date.
I'm excited. I'm really high on Smino, and I think JID's album was. I
One
think
of
it's
the better.
good. Yeah, it's one that I go back to still for sure.
Yeah, we can get into Smino here soon when we get into the music, but I feel like it's good that he's waited to drop. Like, usually that's always a good sign. Marvel pushes back some of their release dates. You guys hear about that?
Nah, I didn't.
First up, we have November Black Panther 2, might I add. They dropped a new trailer. That shit was dope. You guys excited for the new Black Panther?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it for sure.
When did it get pushed back to?
No, that didn't get pushed back yet.
It's
That's
the
in
later
November.
ones.
Yeah, that's coming in November. You going to the movies to see it, or
Yeah, I'll go to the
Waiting
movies and
till
see that. Yeah.
Disney Plus release?
I'm gonna wait until Disney Plus. Cause I don't like watching movies without captions, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't like it either, but
I realized
sometimes.
that
But
the
the
last couple
movies
times
is
I
the
went to the
experience.
movies.
Yeah, but I was like, sometimes I like the experience.
It is,
though.
but I'll be missing too much, bro. I'll just be too much in my element, and I'll just be like,
Nah, I feel it.
I'm
You,
like,
you be
damn.
missing stuff,
I'm
not
like,
even
what's his
realizing
name?
it.
I'm like, who is that? I don't know, but that's just probably me being spoiled by captions. That's that caption life for you. I should have never discovered that.
Other big news includes, it says Blade has moved from November 2023 to September 2024, and it says they're looking for a director.
That's a big move.
Yeah,
It's almost a year.
I think that's the biggest thing, and that has caused other stuff to kind of move back. And it says Deadpool 3 is going to be moving from September 2024 now, because that's when Blade is dropping, to November 2024. So not that much back, but they're moving Deadpool back. And then that's moving Fantastic Four back from November 2024 to February 2025, which is going to make the Avengers movies move back just a little bit. And it says the Avengers Secret War has moved to May 1st, 2026 from November 7, 2025. And I know they definitely have, it's like back-to-back Avengers movie for the first time. But they said they were going to drop them in the same year. And it says the other Avengers movie is going to drop on their original date, May 2025. So whatever happens from between those two Marvel movies must be pretty big.
Crazy.
Yeah. With all these three movies, Blade must play a huge part in this next universe. Out of all those that got moved back, which ones are we most excited for?
Definitely the Avengers one.
Always.
Yeah.
Just because it's everybody together.
But Deadpool 3 is going to be pretty good too. I think all the Deadpools are really good.
I'm excited to see the Blade.
It's funny. I just
Well,
watched
yeah, Blade
Deadpool
too.
1 and 2.
Honestly, it's
All of them.
Exactly. It's all of them. I can't just pick one.
Blade, I'm curious.
Me too.
I'm not too hyped because I love the original Blade.
That's
I know
why I'm
it's
hyped.
I know it's not
I
gonna
was
be
say, that's
anything
why I
like
think
that.
I am hyped.
How do you know? Like, what do you mean it's not going to be like it's going to be a different story, or it's just not going to be as
I mean,
good?
a different story, a different character. It's just not gonna be that. I don't know.
Maybe like I don't know. Are they like redoing the Blade, or are they like
It's
making
gonna
it
be.
a new story?
Well,
It's gonna be a
there's-
new story. It's gonna be hip to our times now. It's gonna
Well,
be different, bro.
No, there's just like all those comic books. So there's different stories that have been made. So
Mhm.
I mean, you're kind of just going based off of
What's
like,
already there?
Yeah, exactly. So it could be the same premises, but like different stories, different
I
things.
see what
You
you're
don't want to
saying.
show people the same thing they've already seen before and just remake it.
No, yeah, that would be dope. Because don't just give us the same shit. Don't give us the Lion King and Lion King live action. Like, give us a little.
Exactly. That's the one time that's happened, or like the Aladdins and stuff.
You said you just watched the Deadpool's
Mm-hmm.
on Disney Plus.
They're
I
good.
think they put them on there.
I think so. Yeah. I was like, damn, where did I watch them? But
Now the Deadpool's are good.
hilarious, bro. They're hilarious.
Exactly.
And then the second one got what's her name from
Zazie.
Atlanta?
Ooh, Zazie.
like, oh,
She's
yeah, I
in
gotta
Bullet Train too.
I gotta watch number 2 for
Um,
sure.
She's in Bullet Train, and I was just thinking, like, I love Zazie Beats, and I was watching Bullet Train, and she popped up. I'm like, that's Zazie.
I'm about to watch
Zazzy's
Bullet Train
supposed to
now.
come back in Deadpool. I was seeing they're working out
Yeah,
negotiations.
She
for
should.
Yeah.
She was
Mhm.
cold. Her character, she killed that. She kills everything.
Nah, yeah, her ticket's definitely going up.
Facts. Atlanta is underway right now, and I'm not tapped in.
Me neither. I will be though.
Me too.
There's just a lot of shows gotta make their way. And then we didn't even talk about the weather. It was hella cold last night, but
Was it?
the cold weather's coming. We're not gonna be able to go outside as much, so we're gonna be forced to be inside. So it's gonna be perfect.
Just to watch stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never going outside after Halloween. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I ain't gonna just be chilling outside, but I'm gonna go outside
I'm not
To do
bro.
what?
I'm gonna
to
be
take my dogs on a walk.
That ain't outside. Okay, grandma. Okay, uncle. Getting real
We outside.
Hey, I'm gonna be out there.
getting loose in the
You're
sun.
right, what you doing? I'm outside.
Fun day. in
Oh,
the
what?
sun.
Where you at? What's this block? It's just me
Nah,
and Nala.
actually, not. Okay,
That's-
let me. I'll go snowboarding. I'll go do stuff like that. I'll
Okay,
like.
now we're talking.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more.
I'll go to a cabin.
We set it up. Send
Okay.
it in the text. I'm so with that. We went
I feel like-
ATV, and I want to do the
Snowmobile.
snowmobiles
That'd
one
be
time.
dope.
I'm down.
Oh yeah. We could travel somewhere else. Come on, we could. Come on, guys. I didn't realize we were talking about that outside. I thought we were just talking about cold.
No, yeah, I'm just saying like consistently. Most of the time we're gonna be
it's
inside.
like once
Just
every
chilling,
couple months I'll
being
come.
I feel
cozy.
like most
It's
people are
cozy
usually
season.
just inside though, even during the summer. You know what I'm saying? Like people just.
Yeah, but there's usually more going on. in
Hey,
the
I'll be
summer.
at Taco Tuesday. I don't know what you
Yeah,
talking
there's
about.
more to do, but like
So, man,
People
ain't gonna be
spend
no
most of their
Taco
time inside.
Tuesday. But nah, I get what you're saying. But we gonna be forced. Like, if we go outside, it's gonna be hella cold. Gonna have to shovel our cars off. It's just
Nope.
easier to turn the TV on and grab some hot chocolate, grab a nice snuggie
Hell,
blanket.
and it's what is it? Daylight savings. Like it's like nighttime by 5 p.m. So
Bro, I was
I'm trying
driving
to go to
home
sleep.
yesterday. Normal time, I closed, and I'm like, dang, it's dark out.
See,
Like, bro,
it's already
it's
started.
dark.
it is, yeah.
That make you
I
want to go
was
right to
sad,
sleep
bro.
at
I was so
5:30. It'd be
sad.
6:30. I'm like, I guess
Bro,
I should go to
usually-
bed.
I close, come home, mow the lawn, bro, edge it up.
Do something. It's
Bro,
just so much to do.
Have hours. Just go inside,
You take
go
a
take
nap,
the dog for a
wake up,
walk.
it's still light out. You're like, oh,
Bro,
I can
I'm
still
literally
work
driving
out.
home and it's dark. I can't do none of that. It's crazy how the times, the shift is crazy.
It's weird that we have daylight savings because some
Weather is
states
crazy.
don't even.
I
do
know.
that.
I mean, we're just saving an hour. Like, who cares? It's just a little hour. Do we even see it? Do we notice it?
I don't know. It's weird American stuff.
We only notice it for that day, and then after that, it's like,
It's for like a week for me.
because think about it. It was dark. I don't know. It's already changing. Like, time's gonna change regardless. Like, you don't have to change the time again.
No, that's how I just said. That's why it's pointless.
Pointless. I guess they said it was for the farmers. Nah, it's a hoax, bro. I think I was reading into this shit. It was just all about. It's another like president. It was a president scheme. Like they were just using it for election topics.
Nah,
A lot of this shit is all because of that shit, man. Because people want to go in power, so they're like, oh, what can we talk about? Watch, what y'all think the biggest topic's gonna be? It's gonna be electric versus oil. Which one do we need? Or I don't know. Anyways, what's next?
any more news, or should we go into some shows and bingeables?
News. Elon Musk. I don't know. This might be a rumor. He's like selling a cologne.
What?
And he was like, with my name, it was inevitable for me to get into the. I think
Somebody's
it's a
gonna
perfume
buy it.
Musk.
company.
Perfume or cologne?
Musk
Cologne.
cologne.
But and then he just tweeted today.
Elon Musk. No, yeah, that should sound player.
He was like 1,000 bottles of burnt hair has been sold, or units. He's called one of them burnt hair. Bro, he's just making a whole joke about it. I think it's a whole joke. Cause then today he tweeted, he was like, "Please buy my cologne so I could buy Twitter."
Yeah, he's trying to make some money. Speaking of money, you talked about Alex Jones earlier, didn't you?
The Sandy Hook
Hella. He was
hoax.
the jury found him guilty, and based
Defamation, right?
probably a whole bunch of shit. But they ordered him to pay a total of about like $960 million, almost $1 billion to the families in restitution. So basically, he's done for.
And
A slave.
I saw that he's gonna drop a indie folk album to help pay that bill.
Well, that's gonna
Yes.
cover about 25 grand of it.
Right. But hey, you'll be surprised, bro.
I don't know
It's,
how much money you
it's
expect
like a
to get from that.
GoFundMe. He's like basically putting up a GoFundMe, but instead he's like selling that something, an album.
Like something just to get donation.
Yeah, it's basically he's
Because
basically
I'm like, you're not gonna get money
donations.
from music. We always talk about the streaming, but if you do
Right.
direct to consumer,
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
that's a little different.
what platform is he gonna use? That's what I was thinking.
His own
That was
website.
my first thought. I was like, well, times are different because I was like, dang, who's backing his album? But I was like, actually, you don't need nobody backing your
yeah.
album.
And
You just
he's-
need a platform.
He's so used to being blackballed. Like he's been kicked off YouTube before and like shadow banned from these social media. So he's been able to build his own platform in media. So he has the direct following to do it.
Well,
even still, was you 100 grand? And
What if he
the-
drops an NFT album and
He's not getting $1 billion. I'll tell you that.
And he sells it as an NFT, which means you have to buy it with crypto, Bitcoin. And you know how big that shit works. He'll just sit on that and then wait for Bitcoin to go up, and he'll have that money. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there, but
My first thought was, who's listening to a folk album?
I know, right? I was
Folk
like, indie
album
folk
from him.
I was like, does he make music already? Like, is he
Like,
an
yeah,
artist?
it's
He's
random.
not. And have you heard his voice? It's terrible. I
But-
could only imagine him singing.
I mean, all you gotta do is I don't know. I don't really listen to indie
Yeah,
folks, so I'm
he's-
not gonna speak on it too much.
He's not making that. Good idea though, but yeah, it's a wrap for our guy Alex. Sorry.
Crazy that he got sued for that. What
What
happened
else?
to freedom of speech?
Well, yeah, but you can't defame, and
I mean, anybody could sue anybody, so
yeah.
that's what happened.
Did you guys watch the documentary's been fire lately? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a documentary guy, but the Redeem Team documentary on Netflix. It's about the 2008 basketball Olympic team getting together for a bigger cause and redeeming that 2004 basketball team that they got bronze, so it wasn't like they like were trash, right? They were cool.
Nah, but as they explained from the standard, it was because even before we were the U.S. was winning golds without even playing with their NBA
Professional.
players. Yeah. So, yeah, it kind of was a shock, and they explained that in the documentary and kind of go through the history, and then even the team before where they even kind of talked about like how it was dealt with the war. People decided they didn't want to go because they didn't know what was going to happen to like Americans at that time.
In 2004,
Yeah.
right? The Olympics in 2004.
Yeah.
So yeah, you watched it.
Yeah.
That was interesting. And it was interesting when they were like, I think Kobe said, he was like, it was cool because like we're realizing our game is going global and it's like really blowing up around the world. But then he was like, after you realize like, okay, it's cool. He's like, all right, but we still need to be the best. He's like, all right, well, this is our shit now. So he's like, it's dope to realize that the NBA is really becoming a global game. And even if you look at the NBA now, the top 5 out of the top 10 players are international. Like the international players are getting a lot better. So I do understand. And then they lost with the non-professional. So they were like, nah, we got to, let's bring our big guys. And that was when the Dream Team spawned in 88?
No, 92.
92? Oh, so they lost in 88.
Yeah.
Dream Team came 92. And then they were winning up until 2004 is when they lost.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they were saying something about 2000 too. Was 2000 good? Or did they like barely win? I can't remember. Were they like dominant? I remember 92 they were dominant. 98 they still had Jordan and shit, so they were still killing.
Maybe that's when Spain was starting to get on the scene.
Does that make sense? 88, 92. Oh, 96. That's what I meant. 96, 2000, 2004. And then 2008. But the 2004 was interesting because they were like, we couldn't really get players. No, people used to kind of, even when I like first started watching the NBA, the Olympics wasn't really like a big thing. Like the best NBA players at that time weren't really going to the Olympics. So in 2008, when they like got Kobe, and at that time LeBron is like developing into the best in the league, Melo and D Wade at that time, it's like, okay, now we really got some real talent. And then that made Dwight come, I feel like, and he was like dominant at that time. Who else was killing in 08? Chris Paul. Yeah. He was like a little younger, but even Coach K was like, we have the 3 best point guards in the world. It's like, there's no way we can lose.
Had Darren Williams in there too.
Darren Williams and Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think, I was like, yeah,
at that time.
Yeah, that's a scary big 3. And what's crazy is I think Jason Kidd was starting at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just to show you like the pecking order at that time. J. Kidd was a baller.
And did you say D Wade already?
Yeah, I said D Wade, LeBron, and Melo were like, they were carried over from the 04 team.
But D Wade didn't start, and they talk about how he played a role in the final game, the championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it was interesting that they were chosen in 04 because nobody else wanted to do it. Like in 04, they were all young and like it was right after their rookie season. Yeah, but then by 08, they were like dominant and they were already like locked in. So they're like, yeah, let's go back and do it.
And by the end of the week, the whole team was getting up every morning and were on Kobe's schedule.
The domino effect. You know, once you start seeing like, you know, the greats in there doing their thing and leading that pack, and it's like, oh, I'm here, I'm with you. Like, let's go. And he created that. Like, he wanted that. He wanted to see who was gonna commit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't going at no fucking 4:30. That's too early.
So if you watch it, the story is, where were they? Oh, in Vegas? Were they in Vegas?
Yeah, they were in Vegas, and the first night they went to party.
Yeah, the team went out and partied.
And Kobe was...
And it's like 4 a.m. They're just getting back to the hotel, like in the lobby. And they look over and they see Kobe, like, with his practice stuff on. And they're like, what you doing? Like, you about to go practice? Like, making a joke. And then he's like, no, yeah, I'm about to go work out. I was like, wait, what? And then they're like, right after that, like, it just was a shift. And it's just so interesting, like, in a whole, like, room full of best players, like, Kobe is still, like, the best player. He's still the alpha. In the room full of alphas, he's still the head honcho.
Mentally, for sure. That's the one thing about this documentary. It made me miss Kobe. I was like, damn, man. Just makes you realize, like, you're like, we missed out on this. You know what I mean?
Even Coach K was like, I had the team, but I knew we needed Kobe. And once they got Kobe, shit just changed. It was fun, though. This was definitely my first Olympics watching. I remember vividly waking up at like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning just to watch these basketball games. But it was just so fun to watch LeBron and Kobe and D Wade and Melo and
Melo,
CP, Dwight, Chris Bosh, all on the same team. Darren Williams was my favorite point guard at that time. I was so happy he was on there. It was just so fun to watch. Were you just saying this on there? D Wade was the best player, or like coming off the bench. Like they were so loaded, they had to bring D Wade off the bench, and he wasn't even like scheduled to play. Like they said, he didn't play all that season, but
Got
he was
hurt.
he was hurt, but he was like made sure that he was gonna play in the Olympics. They said he showed up with the number 9 and the bald head. I was dying because you know what he's channeling.
Yeah.
It's the Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan wore that number 9. And that was definitely one of the better things I watched this past weekend. Definitely made me miss Kobe though. Really good. What's it called?
Just Kobe going in 5.
Just Redeem Team.
Yeah.
Redeem Team on Netflix. It's a really good watch. I wish it was longer, to be honest. Wish they had a little bit more.
I thought it was gonna be like a series.
I would have loved that.
That's what I thought it was
I
gonna be.
need a little bit more.
How come he wasn't on the 2014?
Kobe.
Because of the war in Iraq, and just like they made it seem like terrorism at the time. Like people were nervous to go to another country because didn't know what would happen.
And I feel like people were just kind of like shitting on the Olympics. Like people just didn't want to go. Like he didn't go in 2000 either. Why didn't people really go in 2000?
Yeah, why?
Well, he would have still been, because what, he came in
That was
98,
championship year. He came in 97, 96.
Oh yeah, he is 96.
He made the
Gosh,
the
damn.
All-Star team in 97, 98. So he was up there, but even like Shaq never played the Olympics. There's a lot of greats that just like
True, it's probably that
kind
too.
of didn't really like rock with the Olympics because they talked about it. They were like they were making excuses like I got to save my body, or like this is a contract season for me, so I just want to make sure I'm healthy, or
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
did
like
talk
that.
about that.
So
Oh, they
like,
lost in 2004.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did they lose in 2000?
No, they won.
Okay. So they probably, Kobe just hates to see basketball losing. He represents USA, so he probably just.
Kind of, but it was dope because they really got into Kobe's story, and they were like, at this time, this is like right after he split up with Shaq.
He needed to prove
The
himself.
Lakers weren't good. I remember we were so bad.
This was literally the year before. No, going into that year is when you guys got good.
Pau
man.
Gasol.
Yeah.
That's why when we got Pau. But like he was kind of like a villain in the league. He didn't really have friends. So they were saying this was kind of good for his image too, to prove that he could like play with other players and like just really get his brand back on. So I feel like it was full scope. But they said LeBron was like, Kobe said, he was like, I'm tired of watching you lose, man. Well, once Kobe got on, they turned
Just
that shit
Kobe
up.
going in.
They won in 08 and 2012 with Kobe, LeBron. Really good times, man. Really good times. What else we watched? You watched Intergalactic?
I
Kid
watched it
Cudi?
already. Yeah. I watched it when it first came out. Honestly,
It's pretty good.
I like it a lot. Yeah. I think this, like I was saying, I might have mentioned this last week.
I think so. You
I
brought
think
it up.
it definitely sounds better. Like the soundtrack sounds better with the movie. It like vibes perfectly with it.
No, yeah, it was just like a super relatable, super like today's world. This is dope. I'm just looking at like the cast. Super today's world of, like you said, dating and just being a young man in today's world. I like this story though. I'm like how he was like a street artist and like he was kind of getting picked up and they were trying to make it into like a magazine, but like at the time he was kind of like creatively down, and then like it just showed his whole process. It was dope. I did like it. It says it features though Scott Muscuddy, who's Kid Cudi, of course. Timothy Chalamet, I don't know who he played. Vanessa Hudgens, it says, was in there. So I was trying to like hear some of the people as it was going. Ty Dolla $ign, you said Jaden Smith. Oh yeah, Timothy Chalamet was the bald dude.
Oh,
His
that was
homie.
him?
Exactly, he killed that.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on, I don't know who that is. Oh, Vanessa Hudgens was the pregnant best friend from the girl's friend.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was good. Tiana Taylor It's a boxing coach. Who was the artist? That's who I want to know. The artist who kept trying to like, I think she was like a white girl, but she was like from New York.
Oh yeah.
And she kept talking to him. I'm like, who is that? She sounds familiar. I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
She's like, oh, you just setting up. I see what you're doing. You kind of get that last minute. Like,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'm like, who is that? It says Macaulay Culkin was in it as Downtown Pat. Who is Downtown Pat?
Exactly. I don't know.
I don't remember that. But no, star-studded cast. It's on Netflix, right? Yeah.
It's on Netflix. Yeah,
Intergalactic. That was pretty good.
I think it's a original for him too.
Yeah. No, Kid Cudi's dope. And they said it was like a little ode. They gave a lot of props to Virgil. What's also interesting is, I don't know if you noticed, he was wearing Yeezys, his character. I feel like he had on the Yeezy sneakers, and then he had on flip-flops, and he was wearing the Yeezy those flip flops too. I'm like, wait, don't they like hate each other?
Yeah, but they probably made this long.
That's what I
before
was
that
telling.
beef,
That's
yeah.
what I was saying. I was like, yeah, you could tell this has been in pre-production for a while
Yeah.
because he got on the Yeezys. That was something interesting I caught. Yeah, if you need something to watch, Intergalactic, that was really good.
Something else that I watched that's like a film like that kind of, but is oh man, I'm forgetting the name right now. Werewolf by Night.
Oh yeah, Werewolf by Night on Disney, right?
On Disney, yeah, it's a Marvel. I've never heard of it, but I watched it, and it's definitely like fitting for like this time of the year, like Halloween time. But
Do you know if it's like is it based off a comic or is it
I would assume so. If
something
it's
that's
Marvel,
just like
yeah.
original?
I don't know for sure, but I would assume so. And it was good though. It's definitely has some good action, like a good storyline.
What was it? Was it just like about werewolves?
Do you really want me to get into it?
I mean, don't spoil it, but can you give us a synopsis?
Yeah, one of the main people. It's about a werewolf for sure, and then it's about monster hunters and kind of a dilemma. Because a werewolf, he only goes one night of the whole month. You know what I mean? So he's like kind of half monster, half not.
He's like he's a monster with the heart.
Yeah,
I see where you're getting at.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. But it's just like it caught me off guard because there's people like getting like chopped up and stuff. Yeah, for sure. Like
those are my fave. And you said it's not animated, so it's like real people. It's live action.
It's live action, and it's like in like black and white. It's kind of like those old spooky like Dracula sort of like vibes. You know what I mean?
A lot of
Dracula. Frankenstein or Dracula
too. Yeah, like a lot of shadows and
yeah,
it's dope. What about you, Wax? What you been watching?
Game of Thrones. I mean, House of the Dragon.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm glad they kept the theme song. Can I say
Me
that?
too.
I'm glad they kept it.
Yo, I was watching it with somebody and they skipped it. I said, "Hey, what you doing, son?" I got so mad.
Get you ready for it,
bro. I'm like, "Don't you ever?"
Did y'all see how they
Skip that again.
spill the blood to the different like houses?
Yeah,
And,
what's
like,
going on? It
how the
changes.
houses.
I was gonna say this one was different. It looked like I like kind
They
of briefly
updated
seen
each
it,
episode.
but I was like, "Yo, this one looked different."
Yeah, they did that in Game of Thrones too. They like each
Like
development of the
seasons,
map.
though.
Like each new territory they would touch, they would open that up on they would show us.
Was it episodes or more seasons? Because I noticed it in the seasons, but I didn't
episodes.
really pay attention episode to
I think
episode.
it was whenever like bigger events happen for sure. But I think right now it has been like almost every episode because
And we're just so like tapped in. We're like paying attention to everything.
yeah. But I think also there's a lot of big events that have happened within this episode in regards to like where power shifted, who's married to who now, so on and so forth, because it's time jumping.
That's the dope thing about Game of Thrones. It's like there's a lot of you got to like read between the lines. It's like they give you a lot of like subtle hints and clues here and there. So good.
No, this last episode was amazing though.
Yeah. What about Game of Thrones? Are we liking it?
House of the Dragon?
House of the Dragon. Yeah. Are we liking it?
Definitely liking it. Loving it. Can I say everything I love about it?
Let us know. What?
He could keep his tongue. No reactions?
No,
I love the show. Love it.
I think the best part was before that was when the king walked in and just him acting like that was like it was like
His acting.
I was laughing because I was like, I know they're tired of this food just like taking this sweet time. I'm like, somebody go help this guy. He's
but I was also like, is he gonna leave?
it's like 20 minutes later, he's like still walking. Just,
No, but I was like, he can't leave Renera and like in this predicament.
well, yeah, he definitely saved her because she was screwed before.
Well, and then we found out that what are they calling it? Like what's that like drug that they put him on?
Milk of the poppy.
Milk of the poppy.
They were on that
Milk-
shit.
Yeah,
I've been on Milk of the
that-
Poppy since Game of Thrones, baby. I said, what is that?
like that shit. Some trippy,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
some lean, bro.
It make you forget about all your troubles. I need that.
Mm-hmm.
Milk of the Poppy.
Yeah, you could tell they're fucking them up too. They were taking control, bro.
Allison
Yeah.
and her
Yeah.
dad. And they were gone for how many years before they came back? They said it. I can't
It
remember.
had to be like 4 years. I think it was
At
4
least
years.
because they have 2 kids and one on the
I
way.
wonder if
Yeah.
it's like 4 or 6 or they said it. 6.
I'm surprised he lasts
can't
4
remember.
years. He
If-
looked bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like everybody's getting older except Damon. What the fuck is going on?
So he has a staph infection. Am I correct?
Viserys, he has leprosy,
Leprosy.
Okay.
which caused the staph infection.
Right. And they didn't have a cure back then because
Right.
obviously it's like way back in the, what is the what year is it in?
But before Christ, my
'Cause
brother.
my mom was
BC.
asking.
This is it.
She was like, "What's wrong with him?"
Well, this is ancient.
And I was
BC.
like, "He got cuts from sitting on the Iron Throne."
well, like you said, they didn't have modern medicine, so they
She was
don't.
like, "So they didn't have penicillin back then."
They can't do facts though. They can't even perform C-sections back then.
'cause
Like
I-
that's something interesting that I paid
Yeah,
attention
that
to. I'm
too,
like
yeah.
they this is
They
something.
didn't know how.
Yeah, it's something that's so
They said
commonly done today that they just could not do like back
they were
then.
like, "We could cut it open and get the baby out, but the wife dies,
But we
and
can't stop
baby
the
might
bleeding.
die."
Yeah, this is something new. I even think they said it's a new that's coming from the east, and it's crazy because Viserys went through it, and so did Damon.
Damon, the wife, what's her name?
Lena,
You know.
Lena,
Ooh,
and she knew, so she
she
sacrificed
killed herself.
She was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna y'all not about to put me through
Well,
that torture. I already
through
know
the
the
dragon.
She
story."
also said that's how she'd want to die too.
She's like, "Christ." She did.
Yeah, she said she'd want
She
to.
had the biggest dragon. She had Vagar.
Now Aemon has it.
But fuck Aemon. Dude, who was Lena? She was the. I feel like their kids are gonna be like. I think them
The 2 girls.
Baylor. I can't remember their
I think
names.
it's Bela.
Bela and Ray something. I think because they got Damon and they got their mom's blood, and their mom just seemed like she was a badass. So I'm like, I think them girls, we're underestimating those 2 girls. We got all our eyes on like the guys and Aemon and
Bro,
fuck
Game
them.
of Thrones has always been about the females. If you noticed,
True, even that with Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, like they have like
Well, even think of Game of Thrones.
it's
No,
funny
that's what I'm
because it's like satire because they put the men on like the high pedestal, but it's always like the women who end up really controlling stuff, like Cersei and
Well,
True.
think of even if you think of like older times, so to say, like women were at home. right?
Allison.
So they had
We've
a lot.
seen how much power Allison had.
When you're in control of the home, you have a lot more say of what's going on. You know what I mean? Like where
Even now, you said back in the day, even now, shoot, you think you running stuff, you come home, yo girl talking about get your draws from here and
no, they help organize shit. Yeah, exactly. Even still, yeah.
do this, do that. You're like, yeah, you running stuff outside, but once you come home, it's like queen
Someone
of the
keeps
castle.
everything in order. for
Even
you.
in chess, who could do everything?
Yeah.
The queen. The king could
Yeah,
go one here,
exactly.
one here. The queen can go all across
That's
the
a-
board.
That's
right? You
great
could kill the
example, yeah.
king and still lose. You gotta get the queen to win.
But the queen's gonna always have a big influence on the king, no matter what. In any aspect of however you want to look at it.
And we're referring to chess. In chess, you got to get the king.
Yeah, but the queen can do whatever. Like
No,
yeah,
she has free flow.
yeah, exactly. But you got to kill the king. But that's what Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
is.
it's just about like the name. What was the quote you said about bloodlines and names? One of y'all.
Oh, the legacy.
Yeah,
Basically, I don't know what quote I said, but
The book remembers names, not bloodlines.
right.
yes.
History books.
History books remembers names, not bloodlines.
Yeah.
So it's all about like the clout, basically.
It's all about the image.
Right, because
Yeah.
like if you break it down, you could find the bloodlines, but it blatantly states names, like last names, like that he was a Targaryen.
And if you look
It
deeper,
says he was a Targaryen.
and that's why it's dope. Like after I finished House of the Dragon, I always go to Game of the Thrones, just because it's like I need that
today.
vibe.
That's funny.
But it's dope because it's like even if you look deeper and research, like it's there, and that's why when Ned looked at the research, he found that those kids were not whose kids they thought they were,
Oh, blondish hair.
and it's just like all about hearsay and words and what you in like what you say, image and what you say, but like nah, it's right in front of us. Everybody can see those not Rhaenyra's kids, but because the king Viserys and because the new king Queen Rhaenyra says they have the bloodline and they're taking over, it's just what it is.
Do you think they just didn't understand how genetics worked? And like, obviously, the hair's not matching up. Like, how more obvious does it have to be? Maybe just back then they just didn't.
I think
understand
Viserys
how
was
it
just
worked.
in denial, man. Everybody knew.
Everybody knew everything.
Except
Even they knew
Viserys.
the son was gay, but they were just like, it doesn't matter. Names. That's why he said that quote. Because like he knew, like, it's not my blood, I know, but it's my
It's
name.
the image. As long as we put on the front like we're married, we'll be all right.
That's crazy.
But they weren't all right. That's crazy. Any favorite characters?
Damon. Hands down. And then it's little Damon. I mean, Aemon.
I was like, who's Lil Damon? Because he doesn't have any sons. Does
Is
he?
his name
Oh,
Aemon?
well, now he does.
Yeah.
His
No,
name is literally Aemon, huh?
and he has a son named Aemon.
Damon?
Damon has a son named Aemon.
Hmm.
Remember when he was like they introduced him?
Aemon
like,
and Aegon. I know
no.
he has a
Oh,
son
it was
called
Aegon.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it
I was
is.
like, he
Yeah,
has a son
sorry,
named
it's
Aegon.
I misspoke.
Yeah.
It's
And
Aegon.
Viserys.
And Viserys,
Aegon,
yeah.
Viserys, and then we don't know what the newborn is.
Mhm.
I mean, the one that she's pregnant with.
Yeah, because he's like, I need you to see somebody, and that's when they showed him Viserys.
Nah, but I think Damon and Aemon are like the same, but just on the opposite sides.
Hmm.
Like in regards to the houses, because they remind me a lot of one
Nah,
another.
facts.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to be like main beefers?
Yeah, I think so.
Beefing? Are those your favorite two characters too?
That's a good question. I haven't really thought about it because it's hard because they've like jumped so much to really have like one that I.
That's what I'm
really
saying.
felt-
Like I like young Aemon, but grown Aemon, I don't know if I like Aemon too much.
I just like the battle between.
I
The
liked
two.
when he was the underdog and like he didn't have a dragon and they used to like pick on him, but he was still like, I'm gonna show you motherfuckers. But now he has like that chip on his shoulder and he has everything and it's like, nah, yeah, he's giving me too much Damon vibes. I don't know if I like Damon, but they're gonna make us
No,
like
they're
Damon.
literally the same. They're like so close to grass, but it's like it's never gonna be theirs.
I'm gonna stick with Damon, but I think my favorite acting was Viserys for sure. In regards to his story, how he felt, like
Viserys
it's
is
pretty.
one of my favorite characters.
It's relatable. You know what I mean? Like, because even still, when he was asking, like, what will the songs be about me? Like, I'm sure people could think about that. Like, what's gonna happen when I die? Are people gonna think about me? Like,
Facts.
you know what I mean?
I
It's
never
crazy.
went to war, never had to prove anything.
And he was
just
not. He
lived
wasn't
the
supposed to be
glory
king.
days.
He's the king that wasn't supposed to be king. Like he was like he kind of threw everything off. And it's crazy because George R.R. Martin, the book author, said that the actor Paddy Constantine, I think is his name, he did a better job portraying Viserys than he did in the book. He was like the acting that Paddy did was like way more and better than I could have ever imagined. So I'm like, damn, what better compliment than that? So he definitely killed it. He's one of my favorites. I like Rhaenyra a lot for sure. Like again, I like young Rhaenyra better, but old Rhaenyra is pretty cool. And then like I like Damon's girls, the black girls, Bela, and like Rain. I can't remember the other one's name, but yeah, they're dope. I like them. they were pissed when Aemon took their mom's dragon.
And they fought for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna be cold. And
The one that annoys me is the dude with the cane. If we're gonna go opposite. real quick.
he's
Yeah.
He
weird.
wasn't even in the last episode, was he?
He wasn't, but he's been in like a
I
handful of
forgot
them.
about
He's
him.
weird.
He's like Littlefinger.
Yeah, but like
Just in-
weirder.
Exactly.
It's like, how do you get weirder than Littlefinger? But
He's just trying to like do everything for himself
Allison,
while helping everybody else.
not even just Allison. He loves him some
So far.
Allison.
But there's still
Yeah.
always like motives. You know what I
Right.
mean, there's always gonna be motives.
That's what she's not understanding. Like they're not just doing this for no reason.
But he told her.
He's like,
said-
I expect a lot from this or something like that. Yeah, I
She
remember
better
that.
know.
She does. Man, Allison is.
She's like, I know what to do.
She's easily the worst
What
character.
is she about to do?
She's
Yeah.
about to
She
plant.
said, I understand.
She's about to tell. She's about to mess everything up. Tell the sons like your dad wanted you to fight for it, and now we about to be fighting for it.
She don't even know what she's talking about.
Somebody got to get her out of here. It has to be Rhaenyra.
I knew something was gonna get shook up, but I didn't know it was gonna get shook up like that.
Nah, that was good.
That was good.
This past episode, I think 7 was my favorite, and then 8 was like my second favorite. But these past 2 episodes have been my favorite 2
This
episodes.
Last episode was my favorite, hands down. He could keep his tongue, bro. That's say it, bro. That whole scene was just, it was amazing. Even like the effects, like that shit look real. Like he fell to the ground, his tongue was just
Just
flapping.
fell out.
He could keep his tongue.
That's one thing about
Oh man,
I mean Game of Thrones. We'll just call it all Game of Thrones. But they're good at like building up something and catching you by surprise by something. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
definitely one thing they're good at.
it's crazy because I kind of expected it, and it still caught me by surprise. As soon as he said "say it," I was like, "Oh, he's about to murk this."
I say, yeah, what
No,
the hell is he
yeah,
about to
but-
say?
But
And I knew what he was gonna say too.
yeah, but we didn't know it was gonna even get to that point because we didn't know the king was gonna be there. It was just like a ripple effect of things that happened. As soon as the king got there, it completely threw off the whole trajectory of how that whole
Scene was about to take place.
Yeah.
I think it still took place the way it was. Besides, what's her name, Renice,
no, because they were gonna side with it.
the grandma. She was gonna take her own stand, but instead she agreed to go with the
Because the king
Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
came
I
in.
think they were
Because the
all going to
king came-
take their
I'm
own
not saying
stand.
she's the only one,
Yeah.
but the other dude was still gonna like accuse her of being a whore. I feel like that was his game plan from the get go, and the king just happened to be present, and he was like, "I'm still gonna say it."
True.
Wait, that's
But
what I'm saying. But he wouldn't have got his head cut off if the king. wasn't-
I still think Damon was ready, like, to just
Think
murk
so?
this fool. Yeah, because he knew he was gonna say it too. Like
Maybe.
everybody knew he was gonna say it,
Yeah, maybe.
and Damon just being Damon, he was gonna do it. But then,
But I don't
all
think
right,
he would have
maybe
had to
I
been
would
pushed to that
agree
point
because
they
the
would-
king said, "I'll have your tongue." So he was like, "Oh, if my brother said go, let's go."
But I already think Allison
still
and
think
her
he's gonna
dad,
slice
the
his ass.
hand, they were gonna side with him to take over.
you seen it already
Yeah.
shaping
Also,
up.
Damon
toward
wouldn't
that.
have got that opportunity
I don't
that
think
easy
so,
like
yeah.
that.
Like he would have
Because
been in
He
the
still would
wrong.
have sliced him, but it would have
But
been
he would have
like
been in the wrong. And
more
Yeah.
messy.
And he would have probably been taken away. You know what I
I
mean?
get you.
Like,
Whereas now he was like following the king's orders, so it doesn't look as bad.
In a way, yeah. Because, yeah, the king was already like, slice his tongue
And
out.
anybody who said, and he said multiple times, anybody who says anything about my daughter's claim to the throne or her kids is treason, and you're getting your tongue chopped off. And say it.
Hey, what? Remember that dude, the weird dude we're talking about, the cane? He took all those dudes' tongues. Why did he do that? Remember they were sentenced to die, but instead he took their tongues?
he's
Do y'all
probably like
remember
Cersei's hand, where he's just gonna experiment. on him.
Experiment and do
Yeah.
some weird shit.
I forgot about that. It was like so subtle they threw that in there.
Wait, we got 2 more episodes?
2 more.
Damn. I thought it was done. That would have been a great ending.
What?
But 2 more, that's dope. Lamar looked like you was thinking about something else you've been watching.
Nah, yeah. I literally just finished this. I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but the legacy about the Lakers, I've been tapped in on that. But it's not even really about the Lakers. It's more about like Dr. Buss, and it's called Legacy. So like how he had all these kids and how he kind of like set up the Lakers franchise for them. And it's basically Jeannie's documentary. So it's really how like Jeannie came into fame and how she became the owner of the Lakers. But she had all these like brothers and stuff, but Dr. Buss still chose her to like run it. And it just kind of gives like all the background information. This was the season finale now, and it's over. It was a limited series. But episode 9 and 10 showed Dr. Buss dying. And I think the last championship, 2010, against Boston, he passed shortly after that. So he's seen that one. But around that time is when like the whole thing about like who's going to own this, who's going to run this, because it was all like their dads. So like they're trying to get things in order. But it just kind of reminded me of like the Game of Thrones stuff too, but it's like in real life. And he had a will of like who was going to run stuff, and he was really like priming and testing his kids all the whole way, and like seeing who was good of this. He like put some of his kids in control of like the Sparks, who's the WNBA team, and seeing how they were good with that. And they had like a lacrosse team that he put his son in charge just to see like how he did with sports. And then he made one of his sons the GM and put him under Mitch Kupchak. And like, he's just like doing all these things just trying to set up his legacy. And then when he died, things kind of just like, kind of like Viserys. It's crazy, but things just kind of like went to shit. And the boys, being men, were kind of upset. They like wanted to take on that name, but he kind of like put Jeannie in charge. However, one of the sons was still like the GM, and he was sucking. And this was around the time the Lakers were sucking, and I was wondering why. And I'm like, it's really business. It's really, when a team sucks for a long time or like for consecutive years, it's usually more than just the team is bad. It's usually the organization, the owners, like something's not right within the whole system. So it was really giving you like a inside look of all that happens within the NBA organization. And it was like politics. The son really liked Andrew Bynum, and that was the guy he drafted. So he really wanted to keep on to him, but people wanted to move on. And then people had their coaches who they liked, and it was really just messy. And this is like around the time the Lakers signed D'Antoni, and it just really gives you an inside look. But we were sucking, so Jeannie Buss, being like the governor and the owner, she fired her brother, and the family was pissed. But Jeannie was like, she didn't really know what to do. She was like, yo, you suck. And that's when they ended up hiring Magic. And then they showed the Magic thing when he was like, I'm not going to be here. They showed that. And then they kind of ended with the 19 and 2020 season with COVID, and the Lakers won the bubble season. But that whole season was crazy because they showed us getting LeBron when we got Magic. He was a big part of that. And then like we were poop, and then we traded for Anthony Davis, got good. We were on a roll. 2020 came. LeBron passes Kobe for the most points. The day after, Kobe dies. So they show all of that. A couple weeks after, coronavirus happens. They show all of that, and LeBron is on, like all the people are on it. So it's dope to see, like LeBron's on it. Shaq is on it, talking about Shaq and Kobe. Like Magic's on it. Everybody's on it. Gary Payton.
What is this song?
Rondo, Hulu. Like literally everyone. It was so dope. Kareem. But then it just shows how crazy 2020 was. So March, everything shuts down, and then they resume again June, July. But then that's when George Floyd happens. So then stuff is in despair again. They're in the bubble, like, should we leave? LeBron has an afro. It's like, because they can't get haircuts. It's crazy, bro. It just took me on the whole timeline. And then they're like, okay, we're going to play. But then Jacob Blake, I forgive me if I'm saying the wrong name, but the guy in Kenosha, Milwaukee, or Kenosha, Wisconsin, who got shot like a couple weeks after. And then that's when the Milwaukee Bucks boycotted their game. And then it's kind of like just going through all that. It's like, I wasn't expecting it to be this good. I was really just expecting like some Lakers talk, but it was good. And they talked about all that, but it was sad because they talked about Kobe and just how surreal it was for LeBron to pass Kobe the day before. Kobe sent the tweet, and then they talked about Anthony Davis was on it. They talked about the moment.
The last tweet, right?
Yeah. They talked about the moment they found out. They were on the airplane, and Anthony Davis is like, Bron is knocked out. He's like, he doesn't know what's going on. And he said, I just woke Bron up, and I'm like, Kobe died. And LeBron's like, Kobe who? Because he doesn't believe it. And he's like, it's sad. Made me real sad. And I was off these edibles, and I didn't know if it was like I was sad because I was off the edibles or if I was just.
Was you crying? It's balling.
I don't know if it's the edibles or if I'm just sad, but this is hitting home. Man. It was just too much at one time, bro. But it was really good. And like I said, it's called Legacy. So it's really just about like how Dr. Buss set up his family to be successful within one of the biggest sports organizations in the world. So at first I watched it because I was like, it's going to be some Lakers stuff, but it was super good. And if you are into like documentaries, I think you'll like it. It's a series though, so it's like 10 episodes.
Damn, how long are the episodes?
Like 40 to 50.
Oh, so it's a lot of content.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it takes you through the whole Laker era. It's like starting with the was it Winning Time?
Yeah.
That show? Yeah, it's like starting with Magic.
80s,
yeah. And how when he bought it, and it goes through all that, but then it goes up to Kobe and Shaq and then LeBron and Davis, and it's really good, man. That's all I've been watching. We'll share you with the bingeables. Let's get into some music. We still got a pretty big, and we are back from commercial break. Last commercial break of the day, bringing in the tunes from the finest, Quavious and Takeoffious. Don't have too much other content for you guys for the day.
I do want to say one thing.
What's up?
Because we probably want to talk about it next week. The NBA young boy never broke again, boy. What did he call it? What degrees?
3,800 degrees.
3,800. Yeah, very disappointed.
No, we'll get into it in depth. I want to listen to it a little bit more.
All right, listen to it. I'd give it a second shot,
but I want to tap in. So, but he drops, like you say, he drops once a week. So it's like, how much can you really be?
Exactly. And I only tuned in because of the
title.
Lil Wayne thing.
Is he paying homage at least, or is it just his own thing?
I mean, Birdman's on it, but yeah, he's just doing his own thing, really.
Well, we don't have too much other content for you guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the shortness of video, but all you guys need to know is I'm still handsome. Please like, watch, comment. You don't see Uriah smirk. Please watch, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate you guys for watching.
I forgot to say that in the beginning.
It's always a pleasure. We'll be back same time, same place.
Y'all can't see it now, but I can't help but to see that Lamb looks like Kevin Durant right now.
I was going to say to his mama. Only to his mama. Handsome.
Okay, now everybody has jokes. Now the camera's off. Okay. No, thank you guys for listening. It's been a great episode, and we'll be back next week.
Like that.
Damn, son.
We
Where'd
go.
you find this?
Turn me up in the headphones. Not you.
Damn.
Catching with their hands tight. show this dick for days. Girl, you know you got it, you can post this pic for days. Out of town, girl, I know you going different ways. Pretty sweet face, she got roll dipping glaze. Hey, bitch, don't bank on me, go to Chase. Bitch, don't touch my cheese, go to Blaze. Someone gotta call on God for the scripture. Every girl that hop inside my car, take a picture. She's feeling free, so she let her curls out the house, and she finally got the girls out. Go and poke it out, shorty let it twirl out the house, and she finally got it. Know I got a thing for a curly-headed chicken wing, eating out of table in Miami, 'cause you know I gotta pull up in that wide body thing. You can't park me by no range, 'cause I pull up with that double.
I could test it maybe another day and see if it does it again. I just be wondering, like, do these other batteries really just be losing battery life while it's just chilling? You know what I mean? Because usually I do it the day of, usually. But I was like, that's probably not a good habit. But then.
She's feeling free, so she let the curls out. That's my shit right here. Yeah, I don't know. At least we got the Game of Thrones in.
Oh yeah, that shit was